So let's say Brady or Wentz wins the MVP. You guys tell me who should win the Offensive Player of the Year.
I think the Offensive Player of the Year for me is Todd Gurley, because the thing is, when you have the #1 scoring offense, and it's predicated all on his 19 touchdowns that he had, and then his catalyst. I mean, he's a catalyst for the team. I understand there's golf, but you know, all right, if you don't have a good run game, where's everything else at?
Well, you can always depend on the pass.
For sure. But in the trenches, though, that's where the game is won.
And he's catching a lot of balls out of the backfield. That's what puts him over the top. For me, though, Offensive Player of the Year, oh, my God. And I'll say I cheated a little bit here because this guy missed the last 2 games of the season, and I threw in his playoff game. What I saw Antonio Brown do this football season, and then missing a whole month and coming back playing in that Jacksonville game.
That was big.
I don't think I've ever seen a wide receiver play the way he played coming back in that game. I was watching that game at home as he was catching passes. I got on my knees and said, oh, he's the best. He is the best. He's the best. It was incredible, man, what this kid was doing, man.
That is the first time that you didn't put yourself
No, he's the best.
That is the first time.
He's the best.
I like that.
He's the best, and I got to give him credit for the way he played.
He took AB. Don't want to be on the show where we talk about the same guy, but I would agree with you as well.
That was incredible.
But I love Tyreek Hill. I love what he did. He's a little jitterbug, right? I love the 6 feet and under guys. What he's done, how explosive he is. He went from just a special teams guy to the #1 wide receiver for that team within a year. He's doing an unbelievable job. He's working on himself. He's working on his game. He's learning how to hone in his craft. And with young guys, that's hard to do and be successful. So he's doing that. It's unbelievable.
And I love Carson Wentz because he dominated every game he played. I know he didn't play them all. Antonio Brown dominated every game he played, and I feel the same about Todd Gurley. And I think you have to look at how they elevated their team as well. Worst to first, and we look a lot at the quarterback, but I believe it all started with Todd Gurley. Goes over 2,000 yards, those 19 touchdowns. I believe he needs to be in that mix, as all these guys do. But I would love to see a wide receiver win it for the first time.
Not going to happen.
But probably not going to happen. But I mean,
holding us back.
And as much as we don't want to do it, let's talk a little defense, all right? We got one defensive guy here.
I'm not against talking about defense.
There is a defensive player here. We don't give a defensive MVP. We just give them one player of the year. And let's take a look at the nominees there. You got, Aaron Donald. I know he sat out the first couple games, but my goodness, nobody dominates a game like him. How about Calais Campbell, a guy I played with in Arizona? He just went down and changed the face of that defense and had his best year. Jalen Ramsey, we know what he's done. Chandler Jones, I think, quietly led the NFL in sacks. He's been the best guy at sacking the quarterback over the last 2 years, even though we don't talk a lot about him. So I'm going to start with my defensive guy, and you tell me, Demarcus, who gets the defensive player of the year?
One thing you talk about is change. And Calais Campbell, when he went down there to Jacksonville, we can talk about numbers all day, but it went from Jacksonville to Saxonville, right? And being a great leader and talking about change, good leaders have followers, but great leaders make other great leaders. You think about all the guys that made the Pro Bowl. Malik, you got Boyer, right? And Ramsey. All those guys now are the nucleus for that team because of Calais Campbell coming down there, implementing great leadership and saying, you know what, we can win this thing.
For me, guys, you talked about it and we showed them, and the guy was first on that list, and this is Aaron Donald. This man talked about his money. Talked about his money. And the Rams, you did the right thing getting Sean McVay. Right now, you got to do the right thing and keep Aaron Donald happy and what he is. That boy is incredible. Now, he led all DTs with 11 sacks after missing a couple games. So they told him, come on in and give us one more MVP-like season, and we'll have to pay you. They have to pay him now because he certainly earned it. He's my defensive player of the year.
A defensive player for me is Cam Jordan. He lined up all over the field. He did a great job. He took over that playoff game. He took over the regular season. He just played a dominant game You know, he played Minnesota. He did a good job. He just made everyone better. And it was just fun to watch a defensive player. Sometimes I make defensive jokes, you know, kind of say a lot of them are morons. But at the end of the day, you know, they're good guys. You know, they can play some ball. But I tell you what, defensive line, man, make me run a shallow cross, got me looking over both shoulders.
And Cam Jordan, he was an all-pro this year. I'm going to go with Calais Campbell just because he's a buddy of mine. And, you know, Arizona decided not to re-sign him, not because he wasn't good, but because at his age, how often do you see a guy at his age jump to a new team and have his best year and change the complexion of what they were doing in Jacksonville? So I would love to see Calais. He's just a great dude and would deserve this, although all those guys on the list are deserving.